Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I'm going to talk about fertilizing Encore Azaleas, although the information that's in this video would apply to any other tree and shrub. I've got an autumn bonfire Encore Azalea in a terracotta container here I want to fertilize, and I have an autumn fire Encore Azalea in the ground that I'm going to fertilize. This is a dwarf, only gets about 2 to 3 feet in height, and bonfire will get more like 3 to 4 feet in height, something like that. They're both repeat blooming azaleas. Here we are in the very early spring right now, and this is the perfect time to fertilize azaleas. And I want to use some sort of slow release fertilizer that I can do it once and last all season long. What we need to know about azaleas in particular is they like a very low pH. They like a very acid soil, and they like a pH between 4.5 and 5.5. And so you'll see a lot of fertilizers on the market for acid-loving plants. Hollytone is one of those. It says on the bag, Hollytone, evergreen, and azalea food. You'll see some sort, whatever garden center, box store you go to, you'll see some sort of fertilizer that will say azalea or blueberry or fertilizer for acid-loving plants, something like that. And I think the assumption is that everybody should use that for all acid-loving plants. What you really need to do is get an inexpensive pH tester if you've never tested the pH of your soil, and test it. And if your pH is already in that range between 4.5 and 5.5, you really only need to just use a regular fertilizer. And you don't really need fertilizer for acid-loving plants. The difference being is most of the time they'll put some sort of sulfur component in the fertilizer to lower the soil pH. What I know about my yard is the pH is 5.2, and that's just absolutely perfect for azaleas. And so I can just use a regular fertilizer. So again, test that. You can find out the appropriate pH for any plant you're growing very quickly with an online search, and determine whether or not you need to lower the pH or just use a regular fertilizer when you're fertilizing. But like I say, for me, I don't need a fertilizer for acid-loving plants. Just going to use the regular Espoma plant tone fertilizer. I use an organic. You don't have to. You can use some sort of any kind of synthetic slow release fertilizer that you want to use. Just make sure it's slow release, and you only have to do it one time. I don't fertilize trees and shrubs with liquid fertilizers. I don't want to have to do it over and over and over again, and they tend to really push your plants, and we just want slow and steady growth. That's usually the best way to go. So for me, I'm going to use the plant tone, following the instructions on the bag. Plants that are in the ground, small shrubs like this, would get about a cup, and I'll put about a half a cup on each side of the plant. Then I'll bring the water hose over here and I'll water it in very thoroughly, kind of wash it off the leaves if I've gotten any on the actual plant itself. Usually these won't burn, but other fertilizers might. And so just be careful. You can knock it off of the leaves if you need to. Same thing on your container. Going to do about a cup in here as well. And again, water it in well, knock it off any lower branches or leaves that it's on, and get it in good contact with the soil. And that's all I'm going to do. Like I say, the main point of this video, and where azaleas are not unique, but they definitely are different than on most plants. They like a very low pH. And so get an inexpensive pH meter at a garden center or a box store, and know that. And if your pH is in the right range, use a regular fertilizer. If it needs to come down, use something for azaleas, camellias, or rhododendrons, or something that says azalea on the bag. Thank you very much for watching this video.